Welcome to the podcast. I'm Ben.
I'm Mae.
And I'm Max. And we were had.
You didn't have the levels right. Okay.
Oh, no.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the podcast. I'm Ben.
I'm Mae.
I'm Max. And we were had by Ben. His head was up his ass.
Can you believe it?
There are twists and there are turns.
Defleshed is a standard death.
Oh, that's fun.
We were had.
We were.
This week on the podcast, we're talking the most infamous, craziest, wildest celebrity rumors and conspiracy theories of all time.
Are they true or are they false?
We're going to give you the theory. We're going to give you the proof, both of which are very loose definitions of those words.
All right.
And then we're going to give you the verdict, which is also a guess, basically.
Great.
The thing to remember about these things is that these theories are mostly born of people who are unwell. Not celebrities themselves, but like crazy people on the internet.
Sounds good.
Or
Let's get into
beforehand.
it.
And then the verdicts. I mean, listen. Most of the time, when you protest too much, I assume it's true. That's just a law of the land.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. That's
so
true.
if somebody's really denying, then it's true.
Okay.
Are we going to go verdict? Are we going to give our verdict after each one, or are we going to
Yes.
like?
We're gonna do theory, proof, verdict.
Next topic.
Next
Logical.
topic.
Okay. First topic.
We got 10 here, just so you know what you're getting into at home.
Okay.
Wow.
Yes.
All right. Number one.
First topic. Richard Gere likes rodent sex play.
All right.
If you've listened to the last episode, we have touched on this.
This is what made us want to do this.
Yes.
So isn't the theory that, or like, isn't the conspiracy that he went into the hospital and they had to remove a rodent from his asshole?
So Richard Gere, the theory is that he went to the ER because of a mishap when he was sticking a gerbil up his ass during sex.
Okay.
Got it.
And it's not just that he got the gerbil up his ass. There was a sexual element. And I remember last week.
Get out.
Last week, I don't know. Sometimes you just sit on it by accident.
And
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like the celebrities when they do, what's it called? Colonics or whatever, right? When they like stick a thing up their butt and they make all the poop come out. What's it called?
Oh.
I think it's called colonic. He was just doing it the natural way with gerbils.
That's how they used to do it for celebrities in the
Yeah,
1700s?
because the gerbil goes in there and they just kind of like dick around. They just kind of kick the poops out.
I think you're thinking of gophers.
I think that's gerbils. I know last week you asked if they were alive or dead during this. They are alive. They want them scurrying around in their ass.
Ooh. How big are gerbils though? They're like a pound.
They're a tiny little thing.
Oh, really? I thought they were like...
Oh, you're thinking of a guinea pig.
That's what I'm thinking of. Okay. Got it. So it's like
Guinea pigs are like pets. Does anyone have gerbils as pets?
People have gerbils and like they're basically gerbils is the poor man's hamster, I think.
Yeah. It's like
now
a
you're
mouse.
throwing so many. Oh my god! I forgot about
So
hamsters.
you're saying that they're the size of a mouse. So feasibly,
I'm saying it's like because like they're dwarf. I hope it because I'm sure there are some bigger ones, but
Yeah.
what size gerbil are you getting in your ass?
I mean,
I'm Richard Gere if you're practicing.
Yeah.
Here's the proof. Gerbiling, as they call it, is actually a thing that psychologists, like sex psychiatrists have like.
So the proof is that it exists.
Well, we're actually not sure if it exists because I Googled it and they've talked about the fact that it could possibly exist.
Okay.
Also, Richard Gere, let's be honest, he seems like the kind of guy, you believe it. I think that's why this rumor has
Yeah.
lasted a long time.
100%.
And then the ancillary rumor attached to this rumor is that it was started by Sylvester Stallone.
gerbiling or the rumor?
No, the fact that Richard Gere gerbils, not the concept of
that's
gerbiling.
Sylvester Stallone was also a porn star, right? So maybe
Yes.
he knows about gerbiling. Maybe he's done a little gerbiling
Yes,
himself.
and they were on set of a movie or something, like when this was coming on.
Stallone and Gere, were they in anything together?
Well, there was that one where Stallone voiced a cartoon gerbil that ate out Richard Gere.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
No, not that
A
one.
gerbil's tail.
But that one was a couple of years ago.
That was Rocky 8.
A gerbil's journey, if you will.
They really ran out of plot lines for Rocky.
Rocky 8 is Rocky playing a gerbil that has to fight Richard Gere's prostate.
Would have been better than Rocky 5. I'll tell you that
Oh,
much.
yeah.
That is weak.
Which
Oh,
is the
that's
one that
funny.
Milo Ventimiglia plays his son.
Rocky Balboa,
Oh, that's the sixth one.
which is the sixth, yes.
Oh, terrible film. Anyway, this is a quicker one because there's really not much to go on other than the fact that this rumor has lasted forever. People love
hilarious.
talking about this poor
Yeah.
bastard. I think it probably ruined his career too.
No way.
I bet he would have been in
No.
more stuff than he's been in. Like I bet he would still be a lasting mainstay. But at this point, all people know about him:
Oh, he's a rom-com star who got old.
Pretty Woman,
Right.
gerbil in the ass.
Pretty
Yeah, that's
Woman.
Hugh Grant's still working.
Yeah, but even he's like changing a little bit. I don't know.
He also had sex scandals. Are
Yeah.
all rom-com stars perverts?
I think so. I think when you're that hot and you're that famous, like you've already
Yeah.
had sex with every hot woman you've ever seen in your life, and you can
Yeah.
have sex with anyone you want, so you got to up the ante. You know
Army
what I mean?
Hammer wants to eat you.
Exactly. Wants to
It's a
cut
lot of
you
these
up and
people.
eat you or whatever.
Yeah, like the cannibal shit. Mm-hmm. Anyway, the verdict that I put here, because he came out.
The only rom-com star I could think of, trying to think of other examples, was Billy Crystal.
Oh, you know who breaks the exception that proves the rule? Woody Allen never did anything bad.
Yeah. Fair.
All right, so the verdict, I said not true, and here's why. Richard Gere was silent about this for years, and then he made it into a bit when like a journalist like asked him during something. Like
Yeah.
they were like, "Did you actually stick the hamster up your ass?" And he was like, "First of all, it was a gerbil." You know what I mean? I don't know how people got hamster.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so it was a classy move. You own the bit. I liked it for that reason. Not true.
Okay. I kind of like. I mean, it seems risky because they could burrow in there and then kill you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess like back when it was like at the height of its popularity, people used to like claim to have the hospital sheet that says like that, like documented it, but like nobody ever actually did.
Okay.
People love getting into
You
it.
would also think that some nurse at some point or another would have come forward and been like,
Was
"It's
that against
true."
your oath though, right?
Oh, right. Never mind. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, let me tell you, they're not all saints. I know they're heroes, but all right, number 2. Why did I have to get that knock on nurses in?
But I read some stat that a lot of them are not vaccinated. Isn't that weird?
A lot of nurses are not vaccinated.
Yeah. I don't know about in New York, but in the total U.S. populace, there's like, I saw some stat that was like 60% of them are vaccinated.
Crazy.
And now
Maybe-
they're forced to be vaccinated
Now they're
to
forced.
continue to be working.
Do you
but
think it's a lot? Maybe a lot of it might be like I already have the antibodies, I don't need it kind of situation
maybe.
too.
Yeah.
All right, number 2. Avril Lavigne died and was replaced with a clone named Melissa.
Okay.
If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I like to bring this up a lot. So the theory is that sometime betwixt 2002 and now, most likely 2003, I added that through my own research, Avril Lavigne died and was replaced by an actress. So Lavigne, the story goes, was struggling with fame at the beginning of her career, so she began using a body double named Melissa. At some point, the real Lavigne is said to have died, so the record company
no.
replaced her with Melissa full-time.
Oh, the real Lavigne died. Oh.
Yeah, so the theory is that Lavigne died and they replaced her with Melissa, who was
Whoa.
already in the works there.
Does Melissa have a last name? Sorry.
Levine.
Melissa Levine,
no, I'm kidding. Melissa, we don't actually know if it's a real person.
oh, I see.
Did, not that the detail matters, but did the body switch happen before Avril Lavigne died? Obviously, if this rumor is true, I'm saying.
No. So she died and they just replaced her
Got
with
it,
this woman who's
okay.
already being her body double. But
okay.
yes, it did happen supposedly before the marriage to Dave or whatever the Nickelback guy is.
So how are they? How do they say that she died? If she died.
That's not usually said. It's usually a terrible accident, as they say. Or some people will even tell you that the record label murdered her because she wanted to stop doing music and they wanted to keep on the cash cow if it was that beginning of her career,
Wow.
and they wanted to keep it
Skater
going.
boy. I said
What?
skater
Yeah, because this
boy.
was complicated. The
Yeah, right.
hits when they were kept
They were
coming.
pretty good.
Yeah, they were hits.
Listen.
So here's the proof. There are a number of before and after photos that show different marks in her body and an altered shape of her nose and face. But celebrities, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Also, she got older. I mean, she just aged. She got famous when she was like super young.
Yeah.
Also,
17 or something.
also, people claim that some of her lyrics give clues, like Avril trying to tell the truth to her fans. So in Slipped Away, she sings, "The day you slipped away was the day I found it won't be the same."
Well,
That's
Okay.
reaching.
There you go.
That's reaching. But there was also a publicity shot in which Lavigne had Melissa written on her hand.
That's
Which is
weird.
that I think is the most proof that you can
Maybe
get.
she's fucking with people.
Yeah,
though.
that's hilarious.
That's
funny.
fun. Yeah, the Beatles used to do that. Paul is dead.
They've even gone so far. Oh, yeah, that's true. They've even gone so far, like Lavigne's like red carpet shots. So Lavigne used to wear trousers. Melissa prefers dresses and skirts. That's what they now know. And different facial features, the current incarnation, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but
Plastic surgery.
Plastic surgery,
Yeah.
aging when you're really young, right? She's teen pop star. I mean, ugh.
I bet it's also something like, you know how like punk fans, especially, they're like, you sold out, you changed, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? So it could
yeah.
also be born of that, you know what I mean?
You're no longer wearing tank tops and
yeah.
ties.
You're not wearing like,
Yeah. Remember that was
Which,
her
by
look?
the
She
way,
wore
was
white
a
beater and
look.
ties.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Did she also wear the fishnet gloves
Oh,
without
yeah.
the fingers?
Oh, big
Yeah,
time.
that was her.
She really sent Hot Topic into profitable year. I'd say.
It was started by Hot Topic to get them back into it.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why people stop shopping at Hot Topic. So the verdict is I want it to be true very bad. It would be very punk of her and the record label, but I just frankly don't think it is.
Yeah, I'm not getting enough proof here either.
Yes. I don't think we're getting had by this one. But bonus clone story. Similarly, another pop star, Taylor Swift, is in fact the clone of a former satanic priestess.
That makes sense.
So the theory, which dates back to 2011, claims Swift is an Illuminati clone of Zena LaVey, the daughter of the founder of the Church of Satan. The only reason why is they kind of look alike.
Get out.
Great.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what's another historical lookalike that's kind of weird?
Yeah.
Alec Baldwin and Millard Fillmore.
The president?
Yep.
He does have a presidential angriness to him.
He does.
It's a weird, but put them side by side.
You know, did I ever tell you guys the story? I've walked by him shortly after moving to New York City. I walked by Alec Baldwin on the street, screaming at his wife on the phone.
Really?
Yeah,
No.
it's exactly. Yeah, it was comical. I was like, come on.
And she was yelling back in a Spanish accent?
Yeah,
Or what?
come on. Yell at me in Spanish
Well, wait,
like we
isn't
talked
that his
about.
thing? Oh no, he yells at the daughter.
He yells at. He's an angry man.
He's an angry
that's the
man.
thing. And
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
well, that
That's
is
funny.
on the nose.
Isn't there Nicolas Cage has that really old there's like a really old photo from like the 1800s that looks exactly like Nicolas Cage
Really?
now too. Yeah. And everybody's like, is Nicolas Cage a vampire?
No, I would believe that. Let
Yeah,
me tell
definitely.
you. All right, number 3. Mr. Rogers killed 150 people as a military sniper.
There's so many of these Mr. Rogers things.
Yeah, they love it,
you
but
know?
this is the most popular Mr. Rogers one.
All right.
So Fred Rogers, host of the beloved children's television show Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, you're familiar with his work,
Of course.
wasn't always the friendly, gentle soul he appeared to be. During the Vietnam War, in Nam, he was a sharpshooter for either the Marines or the SEALs, with a record 150 kills during his service.
You think there'd be a record? Are you Marines or are you SEAls?
Yes.
I actually like that. That makes the conspiracy theory seem more real.
Yeah.
Is
Oh,
being
really?
vague about
Yeah.
it to me.
Oh.
Because it's like it definitely happened, but we don't know Marines or SEAls. I don't
Yeah.
know. For some reason, that makes it seem.
So the theory, most people cling to the SEAls. I think it's because they're more known as like the badass guys who shoot a bunch of people.
Sure.
Yeah.
No disrespect to the Marine. I'm sure you guys shoot a bunch of people too. The proof here is, why do you think he always wore sweaters on the show? To cover up all his military tattoos.
Right.
The dude was hardcore.
Oh.
Right,
That's
right.
the proof here.
I like this one.
And also, I think, you know what? He was a very good man, changed a generation. You got to be atoning for something.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
I think that's a big
Because he was
proof.
like spotless. Like nothing came out. You would imagine that when he would die, it would
Exactly.
be like, oh, he diddled,
Yeah.
Johnny and Susie or whatever.
He had
He never
150
diddled anybody.
souls of the innocent Vietnam citizens in his back pocket. So I think
Did you see the documentary on him? Not the
did.
Tom Hanks movie, the documentary.
I saw both and they were so sad, both of them.
They were both really sad. The documentary, I remember, he seemed peculiar, right?
Yeah.
But that scene where he's in court arguing for children's TV.
Maybe I didn't see the documentary. Actually, I'm like thinking of Tom. I'm like, Tom Hanks did seem peculiar in that movie.
I saw the documentary. Tom Hanks looked just like him. All right, so the verdict here is, it turns out there was another Fred Rogers.
Oh.
So there was actually a guy named Fred Rogers who was a Marine, who was a sharpshooter, who started a security business. And he, for a moment, put up FredRogers.com as his business, and it was almost immediately taken down, but people found it. So it became such a popular rumor and urban legend. FredRogers.com was a sharpshooter website, that the Navy SEAL's official government website has an entire webpage denying the claims. Literally, NavySeals.com/notable SEAls/Mr. Rogers Navy SEAL. That exists. I read it. They're like, he wasn't a SEAL. We know it's definitely not.
Yeah.
But that makes me think that's protesting way too much. The Navy
Yeah.
SEAls has a webpage
Right.
dedicated to Mr. Rogers not being a killer that worked for them.
The lady doth protest too
Let me
much.
tell you that.
This one feels like, and this is true for all of them, particularly the Avril Lavigne thing, which you pointed out, but this feels like one where people want it to be true
Yeah.
really badly.
Yeah.
Because they're like, no one is this perfect. No one is this moral or whatever we associate with Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
I get it. It's a cool story.
It's a very cool story. I think that's kind of cool of the SEAls to like have that page up.
Yeah. That's
yeah.
funny.
If I was going to enlist, that'd be why.
Yeah.
They did a good bit. Number
committing to it,
4. This is a very famous one. Different take on it. Elvis is alive.
Elvis is alive.
The
How old
theor-
would Elvis be now?
He'd be in his 80s.
Okay, got it.
So probably, even if he didn't actually die then, yeah. So the theory is, over the past 4 decades, fans across North America have insisted they've spotted Presley out and about. In '89, 3 so-called Elvis enthusiasts even created the Elvis Sighting Society to monitor these apparent incidents. Some people have even claimed he appeared as an extra in the 1990 blockbuster Home Alone.
Oh my God.
Inconspicuous. Yeah, he would definitely do that. That makes a lot of sense.
Also,
Like
let's keep in
Bigfoot.
mind that he is famously the most impersonated person in history.
Yeah. So
Right.
oh yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah, I saw him in Vegas. I swear.
Exactly.
Just walking on the street in the classic suit.
He married my friends. Yeah. It's fucking weird. Yeah.
So the proof here, one of the biggest theories on why Presley may have faked his death is because he had to in order to escape the mafia. So Gail Brewer Giorgio, the author of the 1988 best-selling book Is Elvis Alive, recalled in a recent interview with Time how she poured through thousands of FBI documents to come to the conclusion that Presley was an American hero who had to go into witness protection. She said, "Do I know if Elvis is alive today? No, I don't know. But I know he didn't die on August 16th. Brewer Giorgio, now 78, said the FBI enlisted Presley as an undercover agent in 1976 to help the agency infiltrate a criminal organization called the Fraternity. How fucking cool is this? Which was apparently made up of dozens of racketeers. I want to make this movie, by the way. Presley volunteered, spurred by his love of America and respect for the FBI, according to her. So the author said the agency had approached Presley because a member of the fraternity had apparent dealings with him over the sale of an airplane the singer had. But when Presley was found to be a mole, he was put into the witness protection program. So she said, citing what she said was evidence from FBI documents and interviews. This is another quote from her. Elvis faked his death because he was going to be killed, and there was no doubt about it.
All right. That's really interesting.
How cool is that? I've never heard the FBI element.
Yeah,
of
I
it.
didn't know I didn't know it beyond that he faked his death. I
the
didn't know
mafia
motive.
element. But like, here's the thing: that does make me more inclined to believe it because there's hooks in it, and also a Vegas guy like him, that they were so deeply involved with the mafia.
Yeah.
Him and Sinatra was known to be.
Sinatra
Right.
for sure. I never knew anything about Elvis.
But Elvis, if you're in that world, now it makes more sense. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Or if you're that rich and you're in Vegas, you're selling a plane. There's a good chance you sell it to a criminal.
Right.
Who owned Epstein's plane before him? But
also, I would say Elvis, by the end of his life, it was like kind of sad, right? He was like overweight and he was just replaying hits from 20 years ago in Vegas and stuff. Maybe he kind of wanted to just be
disappear.
done with it.
Right.
yeah. All right. So the verdict here is, here's the thing. Like we said, he'd be in his 80s today. So, yeah, and he was definitely not a healthy man. He was eating like peanut butter sandwiches and,
Yeah,
and
on the
everything.
toilet or whatever,
yeah.
right?
So even if he didn't die when he was supposedly did, he's not around anymore. Also, important to mention, we do not support that he was a very creepy man as well.
Oh yeah. Well, he
Famously
She was
met
much
his
younger.
wife at 14, and then like moved her in with him, but like as like a ward, and then married her.
Did you guys see that Bob Dylan accused of sexually harassing also an underage girl?
When?
Like back in the day or like recently?
The article was recently, but back in the day that he did it back in the day.
Who didn't? I
I don't know.
guess.
I had a bit that I wanted to do on it, but I'll try it later.
Okay.
Yeah.
The time.
Well, the times they were changing is funny because that's part of the bit where you
Yeah.
can just be like, yeah, she's 14, but she's rapidly aging. For the times.
Doing a Dylan impression in a joke, I'll giggle. in the
Yeah,
back.
no
Let me
matter
tell you
what.
something. Anyway, I don't know. This is a verdict that I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, it makes sense. People go into witness protection all the time. Why wouldn't they do the same thing for Elvis? You know.
But he was a fat, unhealthy man.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
All right, number 5, another popular one. Stevie Wonder isn't actually blind.
Oh, this one's so
This is
funny.
great.
It's so fun. The videos people have, and he's like
Yeah.
taking photos and like,
Juggling.
yeah.
How offensive is this one?
It's
To-
horrible.
to say to a blind
Yeah.
person, you are a liar.
it's
so
and
awful.
handicapped folks often get accused of faking it. So right off the bat, we're not accusing anyone of
Yeah,
faking
right.
being blind.
We are not accusing anyone except for
Stevie
R&B
Wonder.
legend.
So
Stevie Wonder.
the theory is that the legendary blind singer-songwriter is not actually blind. He's just he's been pretending for the last 6 decades for some reason.
Okay.
The proof: he frequently attends basketball games. He once caught a He once caught a falling mic stand. He is interested in photography and once took a photo, and he does other things typically reserved for the people who can see.
The falling mic stand story I know. Is that online?
It is
a few of these are on video.
Yeah, they're on video, which is really funny. He's like Julie Louise-Dreyfus when she's in Arrested Development.
Oh,
as a
yeah.
lawyer.
When she's chasing Tobias around the house and pretending that she's just swinging a bat. That's amazing. So the verdict is it's an obvious no. That being said, another one I hope would be true because the absolute most impressive commitment to a bit I've ever seen in my entire life. 60 years.
Amazing.
And it's not like you don't have to be blind. Like the guy is insanely talented. He didn't need the shtick.
He did not need the shtick at all.
Why'd you do it, Stevie? No, I'm just kidding.
Definitely blind. Which also gives credence to maybe superpowers. Daredevil, see with your hearing. Number 6.
I mean, it's just insane to begin with that he's that great of a musician. Forget about composing, that you can play the piano like that when you're blind. I mean, Ray Charles too.
Wouldn't it be harder for Beethoven, who was like deaf?
Well, that's insane.
That's insane.
That he used to, when he was completely deaf at the end, that he used to press his ear against the piano
for the
in order to
vibrations.
just hear the vibrations.
I don't even get it. That's crazy.
You love it that much at that point. I mean, the people who understand music like that, good for you. Mm-hmm. What if I could? Number 6, Marisa Tomei didn't win the Oscar. They just read the wrong name.
But she's so good in My Cousin Vinny.
She's also a national treasure.
Yeah.
An unproblematic queen, let me tell you that. The theory is that newcomer actress at the time, Marisa Tomei, won the Academy Award in 1993 for the comedy My Cousin Vinny against 4 other well-respected actors nominated for heavier roles. Mm-hmm. Hers was a largely comedic role. Yeah. There's a big shtick.
That is true. That a performance or a movie like My Cousin Vinny would not typically win an Oscar.
Yeah, it would have been like if Robert Downey Jr. won for Tropic Thunder.
Yes.
Or Melissa McCarthy in Bridesmaids. Like they both got nominated famously, but it was more of like they did a really good. But I was talking about this. We both agreed that it's like borderline more impressive for someone to do a really good
I think so.
performance like that.
Anybody can cry.
Or fucking the fact that goddamn Rami Malek won for pretending to sing, lip syncing. That's like giving an Oscar winner to fucking Dixie D'Amelio dancing to TikToks.
Also, that movie was fucking cheesy.
That movie,
it was bad.
That movie had every single trope of a music biography that there is. First of all, also it has the thing where he finds out he has AIDS, he coughs into a napkin.
And has the blood. Also, a movie that covers one of the most famous gay men of all time, but it was still gayer how much they were blowing the rest of the band for that movie. It was so clear that it was made by the non-Freddie Mercury members of that band.
I think my least favorite scene in the movie is when they come up with, I think it's We Will Rock You, and like the famous beat, and they're like, wait a minute. They're doing it.
It like takes them 2 seconds. Like,
oh
my god,
that was all the songs. Or like when they're swinging the fucking microphone across it, and the speakers are going around, and like we're just having fun in the studio. That's how we just.
They made Bohemian Rhapsody in 2 minutes.
Okay.
Terrible.
The theory is that the then 74-old presenter Jack Palance, I'm sure you love him, he read the wrong name.
Jack Palance is great. Jack Palance, interestingly, won the Oscar for City. So he actually won for a comedic role. That's a rare example.
Maybe he just wanted to see one of his own get it.
Jack Palance actually also, when he accepted his Oscar, he was, I guess, 73 at the time, and he started doing push-ups on stage for no particular reason.
Jack Palance sounds like the exact name of somebody who would do that. It also sounds like the exact name of a fake, famous, old Hollywood actor.
He was real.
Proof here is that March 22nd, 1994, Hollywood Reporter article read, a rumor is currently making the rounds of Manhattan, fanned by no less than the former son-in-law of a distinguished Academy Award winner, to wit that last year Marisa Tomei received her Oscar statue by error with a resultant scandal about it soon to be exposed, much to the shame of the Academy. So there was a Hollywood Reporter about some guy in Manhattan going around being like, listen, I know for a fact fucking Jack read the wrong name.
So is the idea... that Jack... so they're like making fun of Jack because he was an older guy.
So the theory is... I mean, here the verdict is like...
He's not going to read... I think one of the actresses nominated was Vanessa Redgrave, right? He's not going to look at Vanessa Redgrave and be like, I guess it says Marisa Tomei.
It could have also...
It could be the Travolta situation.
It
could have been a mistake. Disney. I mean, it could have been... Adele Disney.
I can't.
That's my favorite moment of my life. That was a formative moment for me comedically in my life. I decided I wanted to make memes for the rest of my life.
It's the confidence.
It's
the confidence.
Yes. The one and the only, the wickedly talented Adele Dazeem.
And what was the real name? Idina Menzel. that's rich.
He was so happy with the bit that he was doing too. The wicked.
Wickedly talented. Oh my god.
Because you also see it all the time with stand-up hosts where they're just like,
Yeah.
this next comedian,
Yeah,
I love him.
this
He's my
guy.
best friend. He's
Biggest dick I've
hilarious."
ever
Yeah.
seen. Bart Kirschenbaum.
I got brought up as Emily Plant once.
Emily Plant. I've had plenty of hosts like make a bit of my last name where they're just like, his name is Ben. I'm not even gonna try. And you're just like, all right.
Oh,
It's not that
that's
hard.
anti-Semitic.
That's
So I mean, basically, the theory
Steve
is if La La
Feld.
Land happened,
Feld.
we know with La La Land this is very possible because
Yeah.
it happened.
And also with
Oh, good point.
Yeah,
Harvey, what's his name?
Weinstein,
No, not Harvey.
Keitel.
The guy who did the wrong Miss Universe.
Oh, Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
happens.
I think that was Weinstein.
That was that was Weinstein. So
Yeah.
that we know that old man, and that was another old man. Well, who was the guy that did the La La Land thing? That was another
Warren Beatty.
Warren Beatty.
Who we covered for You're So Vain. I feel like You're So Vain should not have been a full episode. It should have been 1/10 of this one.
It was on some of the articles that I was reading with like the most insane rumors. Who was it about? The verdict here is I love Marisa Tomei. She vehemently denies these claims, and I also agree that she deserves the award. So even if she didn't win that year, she deserved it.
Well, hey,
Yeah.
wait a minute. Even if she wouldn't know.
She wouldn't know, and she got the award, and the Academy would not admit it.
Yeah, true.
If La La Land, if that guy didn't come on stage and be like, "You fucking old idiot," it's
Yeah.
actually Moonlight. See,
Yeah.
They
God,
probably
that's
would have said no.
embarrassing. Ugh.
She deserved it. She's so good in that movie. The defense is wrong.
that's great. All right, number 7. Walt Disney's body is in a cryogenic chamber somewhere under Disneyland.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, I thought that was definitely true.
Yeah.
I'm being serious.
So the theory is that over the years, proponents of this seemingly absurd rumor, or maybe definite fact, as Ben will have it, have cited the secrecy surrounding Disney's death, he had a very small funeral, and burial as evidence of its veracity. They claim that the news of his passing was intentionally delayed in order to give his handlers time to place his body in a cryonic suspension, and that both his funeral and the actual location of his burial plot had been kept secret as a means of further concealing the truth of his internment. Disney's lifelong interest in the future, products such as his Epcot Center, the experimental prototype community of tomorrow, and the technical innovations.
Is that what Epcot stands
Yeah,
for?
it does. Yeah, and the technical innovations for which he was known throughout his career would no doubt have lent the rumor a certain air of truth. While a Time magazine article about the cryonic freezing of a 73-year-old psychology professor also lent its weight. It's like around the same time somebody else
Interesting.
got they were talking
Frozen.
about it.
Can
So
we get frozen? I don't want to die.
oh, I'm so sorry. Somebody
Well,
freeze
I
this woman.
think the answer is yes, though. I thought that
The
this
answer
was
is
a real
yes.
thing.
We can all get frozen together.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I thought that isn't the famous baseball player Ted Williams frozen. I feel like this isn't this really.
Some
a thing,
people
or is it
are
just from Austin
cryogenically
Powers?
frozen.
Why though? Because they think that they can get brought back to life at a certain point.
That
I don't
science
know.
will
That
advance
science will
so
advance.
much
Oh.
that if they're frozen, they can bring them back to life. I believe that's the
Austin
theory.
Powers was. I mean, that happened. That was
That
right.
happened
in
with
that
Austin
documentary.
Powers.
That's a
But Austin
documentary.
Powers-
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a documentary. The first two are. The third, I think, is a little outlandish.
The third, well, they have fun with it.
Yeah. But but he's alive when he gets frozen. Mm-hmm. This is saying dead. Then you
when
freeze.
during a time. So the proof here is that
So
one reason.
the Austin Powers scientific fact does not apply here. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one reason of proof is there were 2 biographies that were written about Disney after his death. 1986's Disney World by Leonard Mosley. Leonard. And 1993, great year, that's when I was born, Walt Disney, Hollywood's Dark Prince by Mark Elliott. These guys did not like him. Both of these works cited Disney's interest in cryogenics, but have since been widely discredited for their speculative nature and lack of citation. In addition, Bob Nelson, the president of the California Cryogenics Society, gave an interview in 1972 saying that Disney wasn't frozen, but that he had wanted to be. The truth is, Walt missed out. This is a quote. He never specified it in writing, and when he died, the family didn't go for it. They had him cremated. I personally have seen his ashes. They're in Forest Lawn. 2 weeks later, we froze the first man. So this guy was clearly trying to drum up business for his own thing, but it's like maybe he was denying it.
Oh, so 2 weeks later, we froze the first man, meaning that when Disney died, this would have been a very new technology.
It would have been a new technology, and it would have been big news. I think they would have talked about.
When did he die? In 1993?
No. Looks like you're like 70s, maybe?
Sorry, I don't have that written, and
it's fine.
I choose not to look it up.
Okay, never mind.
The verdict is that his family says no, insisting his ashes were scattered at the Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, California. His daughter went on record saying there was absolutely no truth to the rumor that my father, Walt Disney, wished to be frozen. That has big, what's her name from The View's energy? My father.
McCain.
McCain.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: this is 100% true that Nazi bastard is frozen, waiting to rise again.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wanted to somehow insert that he's
he was
anti-Semite.
a huge anti-Semite, and he's waiting to come back. There was a Family Guy thing where like they wake him up in like a cutaway. They wake him up and he's like, "Are the Jews gone yet?" And they go, "No," and he gets frozen again.
That's
Family Guy's brave.
I wonder how many people are frozen. Just getting frozen. This cost so
I would
much.
wonder if a lot of like world leaders are as well. You know what I mean?
You know what's one weird thing, inconsistency in this, is that the guy said, I've seen the ashes, but the ashes are scattered in forest. Yeah, I don't believe
I
this
would
guy.
believe it being frozen.
Oh, yeah.
Very clearly.
Yeah.
He's frozen.
And the guy's frozen. He's waiting to rise again.
Yeah.
This is a definite true.
Okay.
Number 8. This is one I had never heard before at all.
Yeah.
Britney Spears was a George Bush operative.
Makes sense.
The theory is that Britney was on the White House payroll. She was becoming popular during Bush's terms. Every time the Bush administration screwed up, they distracted the sheeple with another Brit scandal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Any time things were getting toxic in the White House, they would say, "Hit me, baby, one more time."
Yeah. They would do it and be like, oops.
I did it! And that's the promo video.
But they
for
would
this
only
episode.
do it sometimes. That's one, right?
I think
Yes.
so. I don't know.
Right.
Sometimes I
I remember that music video.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She's on like the beach.
Also, I'm like, who are you dating? That sometimes you run, sometimes you hide, sometimes I'm scared of you. Who the fuck is
Kevin
this guy?
Federline.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So the proof here is that
Yeah.
on November 6, 2007, Britney Spears and Kevin Federline announced their split the day before a key midterm election. I guess the theory is that these stopped some voters from going to the polls because they were so upset.
The conspiracy couldn't even be a regular election.
It was midterms.
It's midterms. That's so funny.
Also in 2007 was her very public meltdown as well.
Yeah.
So the verdict is it's especially interesting considering maybe she was also silenced with a conservatorship. Like, poor thing.
True.
She seems like someone who has been, I don't know, lobotomized or somebody did something terrible to this woman.
Her Instagram posts, I'm like, we sure
I'm
we want to
concerned.
free Britney?
So like,
She's
if
a
you
little
if you
nuts.
told me the government fucking did something to ruin this woman's life, I would believe you.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the only reason why I would believe it's true. Otherwise, I think she actually seems like one of the nicest people I've ever seen in my life.
does,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I don't think that she would ever
She's
do
also
anything bad.
posting a lot of cat content, which I very much appreciate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the way to Mae's heart.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Number 9, Tupac is alive.
Okay.
So the theory is that Tupac's death was an elaborate hoax so the artist could escape to Cuba from his increasingly dangerous celebrity status.
Okay.
It's very similar to the Elvis Presley one.
Although in Tupac's case, oh yes, it is similar.
Yeah.
Tupac's life really wasn't it. Well, he was shot. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, he got murdered.
So let me tell you something. The king's arteries were shot too. Let me tell you that. The proof here is that the shooters were never found. Suge Knight was never hit. Pac
Weird.
always wore bulletproof vests. I don't know if that's true. And the man who cremated Tupac retired immediately afterward. Those are all good things. Those
Yeah,
are all
that's
good reasons
interesting.
for it being fake.
Yeah.
And then what did you bring up? You brought up Chris Rock's bit, or whose bit is it?
Oh, Chris Rock has a great.
Or
bit.
no, it was Jake was talking about an old Chappelle sketch that apparently is like talking about how his album that came out after he died was referencing things that happened after he died. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he was
okay,
talking
yeah.
about.
But Chris Rock also has a great stand-up bit about it, where he's just making fun of the fact that people use the word assassinated for Tupac. He's like, he's like Martin Luther King got assassinated. John F. Kennedy got assassinated. Tupac was killed.
Horrible.
Yeah,
The verdict is, I don't think so, but his hologram will be always with you. Will always be with us to perform.
Yeah, that was crazy that they did that hologram thing.
I don't think they should do that.
I don't
No,
think they should
it's
do that
weird.
either. It's creepy and it's weird and it's kind of insensitive. It's a lot
It
of
cheapens the
strange-
idea of a performance because
Yeah.
you've just created this.
Right, and then what if like we have to like imagine we had to compete with ticket sales for like a hologram of Richard Pryor? Like I would go to the fucking hologram. Richard
I
Pryor.
already can't sell tickets.
Right, exactly. Anyway,
All right, last one, maybe the most famous, maybe the most debated. Number 10, Mae Planert's chin was stolen by an evil witch. So the theory is that after living a life of sin in her mid-20s, Sandwich, Massachusetts native Mae Planert was cursed by a local hag to forever suffer with a chinless face.
okay. The proof of this is
Yeah.
that I went to go get my chin fixed at a beauty spa, and they told me, "We're sorry, ma'am, we're not miracle workers." And I literally was like, "Can I buy this $700 package to finally have have like a defined jaw?" And they were like, "There's no, I mean."
Ma'am, your chin is what we in the medical community call a lost cause.
Literally. I was trying to throw money at them, and they were like, "Have you seen your bronze surgery? It's a fucking disaster."
So the proof here, May, show them their chin. Okay, thank you. And the verdict is, I figured we decide as a team.
I said,
Did
when
you
I
ever
s-
have a chin?
That's the thing.
Because
When
I was born,
I was
born chinless. It was a running joke in my
Yeah,
family. Because I also don't have a strong jaw. Let me
Yeah,
tell
we
you,
both
right?
have-
We both have terrible. Our profiles. That's not
Woo!
looking on us. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's not
the
bad.
side. You're like, oh, is that boy okay?
Is something wrong? They told me they were like, all of this like is like needed though. It's like your vocal cords and stuff. And I was like, really? Why is it so
Just suck out my throat.
They start showing pictures of turkeys, being like, "You see, they use it." But yeah, we can't decide that. Max and I cannot have a verdict on this because according to this theory that I don't know if Max created or the paparazzi,
It was on
whatever.
the internet. It was on the internet.
It was on the internet.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a photo of Mae before the age of 25, so I can't compare it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I lost my chin somewhere around 21, 22.
Okay.
Oh.
Maybe it's the drinking of beers. My chin's like, see ya.
Oh, just dissolved your
Yeah,
chin.
just dissolved.
I know I have to have like literally 10% body fat. When I'm at my fittest, my chin will finally look like a chin.
And not even, like,
Otherwise,
not even
anything
defined.
above that, not even defined, I'll just look like I have
I've
one
never
chin.
noticed this
Yeah.
about your chin at all.
Remember that
Oh, I've
one
noticed
photo
it.
that
Have you ever watched our We Were Hats?
We put this on YouTube?
When I'm in that chair too, I'm like, this is connected. It's a disaster.
and it really does this too. Which is
Oh,
But
yeah.
wait,
me
what
too.
are so you're
Oh,
are
yeah.
you talking about that it goes in, or are you
No,
talking?
no, it just like connects. You
it's just
see-
kind of like,
you
see how it's just, look at us. You do that. You do that.
Yeah,
have a
see, you
beautiful chin.
still have a chin.
Guys.
We spend all our time with him and Mike Bramante, two strong jaws.
Yeah. Let me tell you.
Meanwhile,
They basically told me at the med spa, they were like, we have to make like fake bones in your face for it to ever work out. They were
We have to cryogenically freeze.
until science has come to a point that they can fix this.
What would you like to do? May's
I'll take the package.
Yeah.
When May told us that she was getting this done, I was like, "Can you please give me the number for this procedure?"
You were like, can they give you a bonus one?
I
Or,
love
like, 2 for 1?
JT can shoot is a photographer in the comedy community in New York City. I love him to death. But there was once, and you know the photo that I'm talking about. He took a photo of me, Mike, and Ben standing next to Ben standing next to each other on the cupboard from below. Very cool picture. It's us on the side.
I think May's in it too.
and
I'm
May's
in
in the
too.
background,
Yeah.
so you can't see. She's a little blurred out,
Yeah.
which is
and,
a blessing.
And, yeah. And Elvis.
And Elvis is in it. But Ben and May, they both beautiful chins, and then me, it looks like a human ass. If you zoomed in that photo and just showed that's a nude that you could send to somebody and they would pleasure themselves to it.
My chin is normal now, but did either of you ever get your wisdom teeth taken out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look like Quagmire.
I I look exactly like Quagmire in that. I guess it's not chin so much as cheeks, but yeah, it's wild.
Yeah. But it made it more pronounced. It was actually stronger, your jaw.
It's the best you ever looked.
I looked incredible. I looked like JFK.
Oh, that's great.
Wow.
So, I mean, listen, the verdict here is somebody cursed us. I just don't know if it was a witch or God.
Gene Planner cursed me, I'll tell you that.
Aliens?
Aliens?
That's not, both of my siblings both have good-shaped faces.
My sister has a great jaw. I don't know what the fuck is going on here.
Our life of sin.
Yeah.
All right, that's all the celebrity rumors that we have. I think we'll do a slide through kind of thing where you can swipe to see
Just the photos of Mae's chin.
We'll show you guys just different photos. Mae's chin, my chin, and then regular chins, and you can decide.
We'll do it like in a lineup.
Yeah, in a lineup. Actually,
yeah.
maybe we can do.
That actually is
Mae.
kinda
If you could provide like a high school photo,
Okay.
2 profile images of you,
Yeah.
and then we can kind of just compare those to see if it was a curse.
Okay.
To see if someone took your chin away.
Yeah.
Because I know mine is just I was born this way.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. That's been this week's We Were Had. I had fun this episode.
This
Oh.
What
Good
a time
times.
to
We
be
hope
alive.
you guys did too. Please like and subscribe.
Pew pew. And also, whoever left the most recent review on Apple Podcasts, thank you. If you're crushing on me, just know that it's understood and it's appreciated. We see those comments, and Ben's hurt by them.
I'm not hurt by them. I'm just, well, we got it. I'm not hurt by them at all.
Look at him. This whole time he's been on his tippy toes trying to make his calves look.
I did wear shorts on purpose. Yes, I did.
Great calves. Horrible
Wonderful
chins.
calves.
Great calves in this crew.
That's what we got. All right. Thanks for listening. We were at.
See ya.
Bye.